That is the Birmingham Brick Festival. It's just opened up for early entry. As you can see, not too busy just yet, so I'm hoping I've not missed any bargains. I'm 5 minutes late getting in. I usually like to get here as the queue is building up outside, but it doesn't look like it's got too crazy just yet. As usual, I'm here hunting for those retired modulars. In particular, we're looking for good prices on Detective's Office and Brick Bank, and they need to be seriously good prices because there is a double points weekend going on at the moment, which I haven't spent anything on yet because I knew I was coming here. So it needs to be a better deal than double points on soon to be retiring sets. So it's got a lot to live up to. Let's have a little wander around, see what we can find. So there we have our little scan view of the show hall, which is very fancy. I don't think I've been to a Lego convention with chandeliers before, but as usual, we've headed to the far point of the hall, the very back of the hall, and we are looking for traders. And I think over in this corner is the furthest trader from the door, which hopefully won't have already been attacked by people looking for bargains. So we've headed over into this corner. We have got some modulars there. We've also got the Simpsons house at $350, which is a much better deal than I've been seeing that for recently. These are all pre-owned prices, but the Parisian restaurant, that looks like a good deal for the Parisian restaurant at $195. And then I think that is the exact brick bank that I turned down at Bedford last weekend at $510. It's the exact price that we had last weekend as well, and it is just as tempting. I'm looking at it again. There's somebody under here as well, mate. I'm not saying anything. We've got it is the exact same one from last weekend because he's trying to sell it to me again. We've got some of the Bricklink Designer Program bits and bobs on there as well. And then we've got an assembly square down the front as well. I'm not buying anything on my first lap, but I am looking at it longingly. I did not need to run into that same brick bank again just a week later. Got another one that I'm always keeping an eye out for, the Creator 3-in-1 Castle, which I'm always very tempted by. And we've got the old train engine shed from the Bricklink Designer Program. That looks like a really good price on that one. I've seen that for much more than that. Shows that the Bricklink Designer Program prices are on their way down. There's that school again that I saw last weekend in Bedford that I do like the look of. And then more Bricklink stuff here. We've got the Brick Cross Station, which is one of my favourite sets that came out last year. Again, pretty reasonably priced at $290. I think that was $250 originally. So they're taking a little bit of a markup on that, but they're not making double their money on the Bricklink Designer Program stuff anymore, which is obviously pretty bad news for the traders, but excellent news for us as consumers. We've got some more goodies at the back there. The Ferris wheel is one that I very much want as part of the Lego City at some point. We've got Tower Bridge, which Anna still hasn't built hers, by the way. She's had it like 3 or 4 months now. Still hasn't built it. And we've got the Taj Mahal down the front there as well. I'm seeing one of the sets that I am very tempted to pick up as part of the double points that's going on at the moment. This is very much on my shopping list. Diagon Alley, $360 here. We've also got the 3-in-1 Main Street that we saw loads of in the Argos clearance place the other week, and the Santiago Bernabeu as well. There's quite a few nice bits and bobs on that one. As usual, we have our sea of minifigures to choose from, and in fact it's the first time I've noticed that at a convention, but I think this might be a common thing. The minifigure vending machine, no minifigures for 70 quid. So if you're not interested in the minifigures and just want the fun build, that is a pretty good price. Obviously I get that a lot of the appeal of that set is the minifigures, but for someone like me who really wanted it for the mechanism and has filled it up with minifigures called Kevin because I like things with my name on. I mean, if you've got that very specific need, it's a much cheaper way to do it than I did it. That's not to say I don't want my minifigures. They're just not going to live in my vending machine. Got lots of the older waves of CMFs and polybags on there as well. So if you're short on Muppets or previous CMF ranges, they are all knocking around on there for you to rummage through. And then we've got the minifigure pick and mix on there too. And then we've got a whole bunch of the Bricklink Designer Program stuff on there. There's a lot of that out and about today. And then I can see another Simpsons house over here. This one, a brand new and sealed one, so going to be a little bit more than the pre-owned one over there. $650. I don't think that's a set I'm ever going to be picking up at those kind of prices. And we've got a Batwing there as well, just to demonstrate that it's not that Simpsons house is particularly price gougy, because the Batwing for $210 is a really good price. I'd pay not much less than that on the mega deals at Bricktastic earlier in the year, but the Simpsons house has just gone through the roof even further than before since the Krusty Burger has come out. Certainly your time to buy the Simpsons house was probably this time last year when it was much cheaper. It will be interesting to see over the next few months if after the Krusty Burger hype dies down, the Simpsons house prices start to come back down as well, because they were not anywhere near that price just a couple of months ago. Oh, there's a couple of sets on here that are very much on my long-term wanted list. We've got the Creator roller coaster, which I really, really want, and the 1989 Batmobile is pretty close to the top of my, if I ever become really, really rich, I'll buy that set. 485 doesn't seem unreasonable for it either. London bus at 160, again showing that the prices are pretty good on this stall. I like that Fender guitar as well. I should have picked that up last year. I think that is now retired, or is about to retire. But that Batwing, oh my word, that Batwing, probably more tempting than the Brick Bank, even though I really have no logical reason to pick up a Batmobile other than I like Batman stuff. I don't think I can park something that size in my Lego City, can I? We've also got another sighting of the Stranger Things sets here. There's a couple of these in the building today, which is quite rare, quite unusual. You don't normally see a lot of these. You've got the previous version of Privet Drive up there as well, and of course the VW camper van, which I'm a big fan of. And there you go, you can get a used Millennium Falcon for £100. I don't know if that's a good price or not. I am not a Star Wars guy. We've got a nice little assortment of Creator 3-in-1 sets on here, including at the top, The Castle is Lurking. Always tempting. And then we've got another pet shop at the back there. Second one of them I've seen today, plus both parts of the Friend stuff. So you've got the Central Perk at the top, the apartments, the more expensive of the two bits down below. I see a Brick Bank there as well, just kind of hiding in the corner, slightly cheaper than the Brick Bank over the other side of the room. There's an assembly square and a Batwing as well. There's some hidden bits on this one. That Brick Bank I didn't notice straight away, but that is tempting. I cannot believe I walked past this guy on the way in. I want him on my desk. He is great. We have a few more of these Bricklink Designer Program sets, including one of the ones that's definitely on my wanted list because I missed out on it at the time. It is beautiful, but it's definitely one of the ones that's holding its price quite well. So I don't think we're going to be picking that one up today. There you go, we could get the full set of the Simpsons stuff in here today, because we have a Quickie Mart up there as well, and there's been a couple of Simpsons houses knocking around. I even did see a Krusty Burger in here as well, so you could just pick up all three of them in here. Got the fishing boat as well, which I don't think I've ever seen that at a convention before. You don't see that one very often at all. We've also got some of the Lego house stuff there, and another assembly square. I've seen a few assembly squares out. That Pursuit of Flight Bricklink set is another one that you don't see very often at these events. And a few of the more recent bits at the front there as well. So as usual, we've got our big pick a brick area here by the door. £8 for a big cup full of whatever Lego takes your fancy. Have they got enough loose bricks for me to make all my walls, so I don't have to have cardboard walls in my city anymore? We've got some Lego coasters, which are quite cool, especially that one, because as you know, Anna loves sharks. We've got a little something for the Trekkies on here. A big old battle going on. And then some Harry Potter bits and pieces. Lots of wizardy stuff. And a very cool under the sea diorama. This is very, very cool. Massive download stage. We've got the little camping area, the food trucks. I love me a food truck. Even got the little production booth thing with all the speakers, and this is very cool. Full festival awesomeness. And I didn't even notice the tour bus around the side. Very cool. Seeing this motorised does not make it any easier for me to resist Ninjago City Markets this weekend on double points. That gondola is my favourite part of that set, and having it integrated around with this roller coaster into this full-on awesome thing, I like that a lot. And then on the topic of things that move, these boats, also motorised and very, very cool. One day I'll just take that home for Anna, because she loves sharks. There you go, a set for you to support on Lego ideas. I was a big Scrubs fan, so I would like this in my house. I would like this in the city. So you know what to do, boys and girls. There's your details. We've also got a Thundercats one on there as well. Very cool. We've got the usual gaming area, activities and stuff going on at the back here as well. Got some more bits for the Trekkies over there, and for the cool superhero lot over here, including the car from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. While we're lurking in here looking at some Simpsons stuff. We're on the internet, you all have a meme. And we've got some of the art stuff in here too. And then a bunch more MOCs and things to look at over here. A load of space stuff, an excellent castle, some dinosaurs, and then the main event at the end here. Lots of very cool little collectible bits with the monorail set just popping around, doing its thing around it. I can't even imagine how much that table is worth. Loads and loads of minifigures available as usual, including some Kevins. Got these dinosaur eggs hatching again, which I saw last week and still love. I think they're great. And a nice little beach scene. A big version of the pirate map, which, I mean, I've already got this in 2 sizes. I've got the little individual tile. I've got the one that comes with the upscaled minifig from Lego House. I'd quite like that on my office wall. I think that's really cool. And then this castle is great as well. Nice to see a castle that's not just grey and looks good from all sides as well, which is very snazzy. And then some more bits for the Trekkies and Spider-Man. And then minifigures for days again. Always minifigures for days. If you're after specific minifigures, these events are definitely the places to come, because they're probably in here somewhere. These are very cool. I'm far too much of a chaotic pile it all on the table kind of builder, but Anna has her little cutlery drawer from IKEA. I think this would probably be a definite upgrade, especially this one that's got the little build area in the middle and a way to prop up the iPad at the back. I think these are very, very snazzy. Lots and lots and lots of brick heads. And I mean lots of brick heads. That's a lot of brick heads. And then also lots of spaceships, which, as you know, I am an expert on all things spaceship related. They look impressive and very confusing and intimidating, but the detail on some of these is very, very cool. These guys having their party that they like to have at these events. Got a very cool custom modular building there, which is very cool. And then this looks awesome. Very snazzy. That's awesome. Got some more little Toy Story bits here. Very, very cool. And this is that Pixar sign. I feel like Anna would like a lot of this stuff. We might have to look into doing some stuff like that. We've got the Dakar Rally. We've got my underground station that I am still yet to steal, but it is close to the exit. I could grab it and run today, potentially. That might be the last thing I do, probably, as a free man. We've got these custom trainers as well, which are really, really cool, like customized versions of the Adidas shoe from a few years ago. And then some small shoes as well. Trying to see if the pair I'm wearing are on here. They're not quite. And then we've got some Iron Man stuff, including this big Iron Man Hall of Armour and a RoboCop. There's a cultural reference I actually understand. And then I ruin it by not knowing who this guy is. And I probably should, shouldn't I? On the topic of ideas that I want to steal, just a reminder for Anna in every one of these videos, I would like one of these for our Lego room. These are snazzy. We've got some 3D printed, upscaled versions of some of the little F1 CMFs that have been out recently, which do look cool. I might have to get myself a 3D printer. People do some very fun things with them. And then another sea of minifigures. And then again, talking of cool things you can do with a 3D printer, again, just bigger versions of these little builds. They do look great. And there's your minifigure pick and mix. And then we've got a nice little train setup, including a very nice train station. I'm a sucker for a motorised train. And we've got a Banksy over there as well. And then this very snazzy off-roading situation on here. Very cool little display for Pride Month. Fully in support of that. That one is very cool. Oh, it's motorised as well. I like that a lot. We've got this Muppet Theatre again, which I showed you on last week's one from Bedford. If you didn't go and support it on LEGO Ideas last week, go and support it on LEGO Ideas this week, because I want it in my LEGO City. It is incredible. And these Batman sets are cool as well. I really like that one. It's so simple, but so cool. And then we've got Joker's gun at the end there, which is very snazzy as well. We've also got some of these in-store display model things, which I don't even know how people get their sticky little fingers on these. The collector in me would very much like to have something like this though, even though I'd have nowhere to put it, and I wouldn't even be that bothered about what was in it. I just kind of want one because it's a cool thing to have. It's like having a Lego store sign in your house, and that fish tank is great. And then on the topic of signs for my house, if we do get that Muppet Theatre through Lego Ideas, we'll have to celebrate by building one of those. And I would love to make something like that. I've never actually looked, but are designs for things like that on Rebrickable? If not, I want to do like a Lego mosaic knitting pattern website, because Anna would be all over stuff like that. She just needs the pattern. We've also got a nice little F1 grid going on, and then a slightly different design or idea on an F1 grid, and my penguins, who I like to see every time I'm here. Well, I think with that we are done. I've just had somebody come up to me and show me they've already bought my brick bank that I wanted, so that takes that decision out of my hands, and realistically I couldn't be buying that today anyway. I think, did I mention it earlier in the video? It might have been in my TikTok. I'm sure future Kev will edit this out if I've already said, but I smashed my camera in Skegness earlier in the week, and I've just had to spend £500 on a new camera, and I'm recording this video on my phone. So any hope I had of picking up a brick bank today kind of disappeared when I had to spend £500 on a camera just a couple of days ago. So very sad. The other brick bank is still in here, but I am going to resist, I think, especially because, like I think I said towards the start of the video, it is double points weekend. I still haven't done an order on Lego for double points because I was coming here and I'm going to National Brick events in Northampton tomorrow. So I want to get through the conventions before I spend all my money on the Lego website. But I think realistically, I need to be buying a bunch of pick-a-brick while it's double points with a good gift with purchase, so I can replace those nightmare cardboard walls I put in the Lego City this week. But certainly this has been a good show. There's a lot of traders here doing pretty decent prices. There's no obvious overly expensive stuff, and there's a lot more in the way of MOCs than you get at some of the events in the smaller cities. I guess it's the advantage of being in a place like Birmingham. It just attracts a lot more people in. I think it probably is suffering a little bit from a trader perspective on the fact it is a double points weekend in a city that's got 2 Lego stores, and the event itself isn't hugely busy. It's 11:20, so we're well into general entry and it's still not mega busy in here. So I think probably the traders are not having the best of days. Although there is some good stuff that's been in here, and I am seeing people wandering around carrying the stuff. Yeah, it is always the risk of these events taking place during double points weekends, because obviously that encourages people to spend on the Lego store rather than to come in somewhere like this. But there was certainly bargains to be had in here today. Just wish I hadn't broken my stupid camera. I'm so annoyed with myself, but I am going to head home and sulk that I've not got a brick bank with me. So if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for loads more Lego content, including there'll be another convention tomorrow because I'm off to National Brick events in Northampton tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching.